So for the two of you who actually watch my YouTube videos and you keep up with my channel, you may have noticed that last time I reviewed Hazbin Hotel, I actually didn't watch the full series. I watched 2 episodes of just the one season that was there. This time, I actually gave the series a fair chance, and that was the worst mistake I've ever made in my life.
See how the surfs work the ground, and they give it all they've got, and you give it all you've got, and we give it all we've got till we're down. See how the brain plays around, and you fall inside a hole you couldn't see. You fall inside a hole inside of someone. Help me understand what's going on inside my mind. Doctor, I can't tell if I'm not me.
Sir Princess was alright.
What is this? Did he blow?
No, I'm just kidding. There is actually some redeeming things about the show. Well, not quite redeeming, just things that we found somewhat okay and not worth a recommendation, but I mean, okay, so there was one joke that kind of landed, and it was this one.
That could have been ugly.
And besides a couple other nose exhales, there really wasn't any other jokes that landed. I will say that the only character that we found somewhat likable was actually Sir Pentious. That wasn't really a joke before. Sir Pentious was actually kind of the only decent character. Was he good? A little bit. He was kind of good, but I mean, he wasn't. He was tolerable, bearable, even somewhat likable. Well, what? Yeah. I think he was likable. I will say. Everyone else though sucked. I don't even know where to begin with this. Every character besides Sir Pentious is either one-dimensional or unbelievably uninteresting. Every single emotional moment in the show is either crying that doesn't really make any sense and is constantly out of place, or a forgettable song that just pops up out of nowhere.
It's declaring a war, and Carmilla's right. I started it, and I'm a hypocrite, and my dreams are gonna die.
Shut up, you know that I love you.
While we're on the topic of songs, they are produced well. They do have some catchy tunes. But when dissecting the lyrics, they're god-awful. And the animation, like the music, can be pretty great. But at some times, it's so choppy, like PowerPoint presentation frame rate. I have no idea why it's even like that. I came up with a theory that, maybe the animators are actually being paid randomly each day. So one day they're actually paid $50,000 and, can pump out something that's actually pretty great looking. And then the other day they're paid, pocket lent some pizza and McDonald's gift card that has 83 cents left on it. That forces them to make something that is actually insanely bad. Oh yeah, and one more thing. The word seraphim is a natural plural, okay? The suffix im implies that it's a plural. It's like adding an S in an English word. The singular word for seraphim would be seraph. Seraphims is not a word, it's a bastardization of an entire language system. Okay, are you the head animators of the animators department? Or do the head writers of Hazbin Hotel? No, I don't think. It gets to a point where when you watch enough bad material that you just stop processing it entirely and it becomes just noise. When we watched season 1, it was bad, but we powered through it in a day thanks to a couple food breaks, and then we took a couple breaks to watch episodes of Doctor Who. That was much deserved. Season 2 not only took multiple different breaks, I'm talking maybe 10 max. We actually had to stop one day entirely and then pick up the next. We just considered stopping the whole thing and canning it because it was just that bad. With Hazbin, we kind of expected the jokes to miss and the lines to be cringe and the plot to be garbage. After a while, though, it got so tiring. We knew the result. We knew it would be disappointing, and it became insanely apparent. I guess we should probably start talking about the plot of the show now. The plot follows Charlie, the daughter of Lucifer, who starts a hotel for sinners to try and redeem them so that they can get into heaven. Which is honestly a pretty interesting concept, I will say, if done properly. However, the people in hell are not seen as redeemable at all, not even the people who are actually going to the hotel. The show has an insane double standard. The goal of the show is to bring sinners into heaven. However, it doesn't exactly show why these sinners need to be redeemed. It insists that there are innocent sinners in hell, yet they never actually show them. In fact, they show the opposite. They show these people doing terrible things. It insists that heaven is a good place, yet heaven is portrayed as a corrupt, a morally bankrupt place. And it randomly switches between the two. There could be a hell bad and heaven good, or a heaven bad, hell good. There's no consistency. It's a constant flip-flop between the two. If the show stuck to one, it would be better. Well, it wouldn't be better, it'd be more coherent. Visipop insists on being both, leading to a plot and character motivation that make absolutely zero sense. And it has next to no development. In season 1, the whole gist is that Charlie is kind of an idiot who accidentally brings forth the once annual extermination to be 6 months early. This extermination is where the angels from heaven go down and massacre all the sinners in hell, or not all of them, just a group of them, so that the overpopulation issue can be fixed. For the rest of the season, we follow the group consisting of Charlie, her girlfriend Vaggie, Angel Dust, Husk, Serpentious, Nifty, and Cherry Bomb, running the hotel as they go on random adventures, with Charlie trying and failing to redeem them on the way. They also have random things that randomly happen at random times that have nothing to do with the grand scheme of anything in the story, which is a frequent trend that happens in this show, sadly. I will say, though, that Charlie's work kind of paid off because Serpentious was in fact redeemed and he did end up getting into heaven, only in the funniest way possible. And by the funniest way possible, I mean the only good joke in the show. While season 1 sucked, season 2 makes it look a lot better, actually. The plot of season 2 is... well, actually there is no plot. Vox is kind of dumb, builds a big gun, sings a song in the end, and that's really the closest thing you can get to a plot in this season. There are like strings of plots. We follow Pentious in heaven, Charlie's failed attempt at PR in hell, Vox gets tricked by Alistair, who actually never mentioned, but there's probably a good reason why we didn't. He's very forgettable as a character. But you genuinely cannot determine a plot for season 2. What sucks is out of the 8 episodes in season 2, one of them is actually tolerable. Episode 7 builds suspense, has an okay song, and gives the last episode potential, only to be followed up with the stupidest, cringiest ending I've ever seen in any show that has ever aired on television. What makes it worse is that the ending could have actually been really tolerable if they didn't just end it on some spirit ball of friendship. It almost feels like the ending was rushed out to meet some contractual obligation or something. I give season 1 a 3 out of 10. Especially compared to season 2, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Season 2 gets a 0 out of 10. Just a 0. If I were to summarize the show, it would just be nothing. Not a show about nothing because Seinfeld already took that. But nothing because nothing is gained by watching this. There is only time to be lost when watching this show. There is no reason to watch Hazbin Hotel. There is no possible way that I could ever recommend anybody watch this show. I will recommend going to your local department store, getting some nice quality paint, and watching it dry on a wall for 3 hours. That'll be more emotionally impactful and more life-changing than Hazbin Hotel. But in all seriousness, there are much better shows to be watched than Hazbin Hotel. Like David Tennant's Doctor Who, or Evangelion.
Or Monster!
I give Hazbin Hotel a 1 out of 10. That may seem really harsh, but I think it's the truth. But I will say, Hazbin Hotel is a grassroots piece of art that started years ago and took so long to develop and was a genuine passion project by Vivian Medrano. And she got it out there on one of the biggest media platforms on planet Earth. And for that, I commend her. That is hard to do. That takes a ton of hard work, dedication, blood, sweat, and tears. And I can only congratulate her for that. If only the story and the show were actually something that is of value. But I will say that there is something of value with Hazbin Hotel. There's been a lot of works that are actually inspired by it. Works that wouldn't exist because of it. Like my work. Or future works that have yet to be written. I think that the value that I see in Hazbin Hotel isn't from the show itself, but from what it inspires. It has inspired young people to actually make something of value, something that actually does mean something, and put it out there for the world to see. That's something that takes guts. And Hazbin Hotel is an inspiration for that. While I can't recommend anybody actually watch Hazbin Hotel, I'm grateful for its existence.
A genuinely helpful reaction to a piece of work that you're reading is, Jesus Christ, I could write this